Hello, welcome to Insights in Action with Orange 142, where we interview agency leaders and business owners to uncover the journeys, the strategies, and the insights that drive their success. At Orange 142, we're all about transforming brand stories into impactful digital experiences through innovative media and marketing solutions. And today I'm joined by Jake of iProv. How's it going, Jake?
It's going well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Jake, I would love to just start this off by learning a little bit more about your background and a little bit more about your agency, iProv.
For sure. So personally, my background, once I graduated college, I went to college. I'm based in Arkansas. That's where our agency is based. So I went to the University of Central Arkansas. Once I graduated, I moved to Chicago for a little bit. I worked for Groupon for a little bit. Honestly, the cold drove me out. I loved this city. It was just a little too cold for me to survive and to thrive. So when I got back, I actually got a job with the university that I had went to, doing social media for them, doing event planning for them, which kind of led to me, I guess, being seen by marketing people. And so it led to about 5 years ago, right before the pandemic started, I joined the iProv team. And they're based in Little Rock. They were founded in 2001 by RJ Martino and Roxanne Martino, their brother and sister. They've both since gone on to do much larger things. For example, we're part of a holding company that we have like a mother company that RJ and Rox both run, I believe, and it's called Mayfair. And so from that, they've started multiple other businesses. Roxanne is a lawyer, so she has a law firm. We have a logistics company that runs on rails. We have a cybersecurity company along with the marketing. And so we're iProv, we're the marketing agency. We were the Martino's first business. And it's like everything that kind of sprouted out came from the success of iProv. Since I came, we've really changed. Like when I first started, we were very focused on healthcare marketing. And now we're focused, one of our mission statements includes, we help people that help people. We love to help people that make a difference, especially in our state. Some of our favorite clients, they're all our favorite clients. So again, when I say that, it's basically everyone, but some of our favorite clients are the nonprofits in the state. We have agencies that help with aging. We have the entire state kind of with that. We help them with their marketing to make sure that our seniors in Arkansas know that there are resources for them. They're free, that are available, and that can and should be used. So Arkansas, which is Easter Seals, is a national foundation that helps people with disabilities live their best life. And the Arkansas branch is one of our biggest and best clients. And we just had a fundraiser for them last week called Art and Soul, where we got to auction off artwork by both local artists and artwork by clients of Easter Seals who are in the arts program that they have. All that to say, we really like to lend our voice and lend our skills to those who are making an impact and a difference in our state. And whether that be from nonprofit or that be for-profit businesses, Tim Fitness, which is a franchise gym here in Arkansas, that they're helping people live their best life, right? They are. So it kind of has a vast range there of what can be people helping people.
Wow. I love that. And I know that, like, kind of what you mentioned, right? It's your mission is about supporting organizations that make a difference in their communities. And I guess I'm curious, based off of that, like, how does this purpose-driven focus shape the way that you guys approach each client's marketing strategy?
For sure. That's a great question. I think that the focus really, it can be generalized, right? Like they're helping people, but you are so right that it has to be individualized when we're talking about strategy, when we're talking about where they want to go, who they want to be. For example, our nonprofits may want to be the resource where our for-profits want to be the go-to, right? When there's a difference there between being a resource and your go-to. And I think that's important when you're talking to clients, that there's distinctions made in vocabulary, because a lot of times people use words that they maybe don't necessarily mean, or maybe they've mixed it up with another word in the industry. And I'm sure you can attest to this when you're outside of the marketing world. It's very easy to confuse our terms. Our terms are very similar sometimes. So anyway, I'd just like to clarify and make that distinction. But I think that one of the best things for us is when our clients tell us who they want to help. That helps us to develop the strategy a lot versus what they're quote unquote selling or offering, or because like I said, some of ours are nonprofit, a lot of ours are nonprofit. So there's no selling, there's an offer, there's a resource, there's a help involved. And so the resource can, I hate to say this, sell itself. What we need to know is who needs that resource. Who in our state doesn't have it? Who in our state doesn't know that they need it? There are a lot of, we kind of spoke when we first met, like Arkansas is very rural, and there are very desert areas where it comes to healthcare, groceries, transportation needs. So I think that a lot of our nonprofits maybe help us by letting us know that a lot of people don't understand that they can use their services. They need their services, and their services, their resources are available. So yeah, I would say that's probably our best way to start, is to figure out who can benefit from our clients, our partners. And from there, we build a strategy out, because like I said, the resources, the services, everything like that is a given that they're needed. So
Yeah, for sure. And I know that you personally joined iProv because of a passion for meaningful work. And can you share a bit about your journey into this field and how working with purpose-driven organizations has impacted you personally?
absolutely. I don't think that I ever thought that I would be an agency person, and not that in any way, but agency life, I think, tends to have this fast pace, all or nothing, never sleep kind of um, reputation. And that's not necessarily correct in any way. And so one of the things, honestly, was like within this interview with iProv, it was made very clear to me that they hire, fire, promote everything based on their core values, which can be found on our website. And so that it was the first time that I'd had a company approach to me, not about my skill sets, not about my talent, but about my values. And what about my values make me a fit for this company, or doesn't make me a fit? And then as I get into the company, I'm just going to, I guess, self brag, but when we do interviews, they like to call him, they're like, this is Jake, and he's kind of our mascot. And that's because the core values are what got me here. They're what I like live by and die by when I'm working. And so being the mascot of those is very flattering, but that's honestly how it's kind of how I got into it, and how it changed my whole perception of what agency life is, what agency work can be. And also that there's a way to like continuously make an impact. For example, if I were working at one of our partners, if I were working for the agency, area agency on aging, then I can make that impact on them. But I can't, from that position, make the same impact that I can with Easter Seals or 10 Fitness or something like that, to where there is a greater impact than just one organization. So that's been the benefit for me of agency life, is getting to have an impact across multiple fields, multiple people, populations, interests, everything that maybe I wouldn't if I were just solely focused in one, even nonprofit field, to helping others. Yeah, I think agency life is very different for me than what I anticipated, but it's amazing. Don't get me wrong, there is fast-paced days. There are days that everything feels like it could be on fire and you have to put it out, but it's not so hard to do that when the mission is helping others. It's actually very fulfilling. So
For sure. I love that. And I love, that sounds, and I might be wrong here. Are you guys an EOS company? Do you guys operate off entrepreneur operating system?
I don't, yes and no. Yeah, we don't specifically like subscribe to the EOS, but there are a lot, I think, foundations from that. And honestly, I'm going to be honest, that's kind of probably the leadership more than me. So I don't want to misspeak to that.
Yeah.
But I do believe that there is a foundation that has been built with those principles, right?
Yeah, like that comes from EOS, and I love that. And
Yeah.
I remember my first agency that I truly worked at, like actually started building my career at, was they did that as well. They hired, fired, promoted based on core values. And it was a game changer, because it became less about me. And I come from the agency sales side. So it became less for me about constantly worrying about hitting metrics like most salespeople do, to am I actually envisioning the core values of this company? And that's such a, like, from somebody who is driven, like a role that in sales was driven by results and metrics, it's such a game changer that a company's willing to be like, hey, maybe you didn't hit your goal. Thankfully that didn't happen to me, but like maybe you goals, but it did a really good job envisioning the core values. And that's like, for a person working at a company, that makes you feel so much more valued. And I love that.
Absolutely. Even on the flip side of that, we've had instances where maybe someone is hitting the KPIs, but they're not hitting the core values. And
Yeah.
so there's a conversation there as well, where or we have someone that is going so far above their role and hitting the core values that they need to be promoted based on that alone. So yeah, absolutely. I think that it's a way to also just grow your company and grow people. It's less focused on weaknesses or failures, and much more focused on the positives, much more focused on what is it that I bring within me, that like, not what skill have I picked up over the years in this marketing life. What is it that I bring that I value about myself that the company also values? So absolutely. I love that. And I
Yeah.
love, it's also how we pick and choose I say clients because that is the more familiar term. In-house, we say partners because they are our partner. They're not like we're in it together. That's the whole point of it. partnership. And so we do also choose our partners based on core values. And so it's really just lends itself to everything.
Yeah, I love that. And I want to go back to that part that you said about your mission being to help people who help people. And maybe you touched on this a little bit, but just to dive in a little bit deeper, Jake, what would you say some of the biggest challenges these mission driven clients face in getting their messages out, like out there? And how does iProv help them overcome these?
For sure. That's a great question because I think a lot of our clients sometimes feel that what they offer may be dwarfed by bigger corporations that offer the same thing. And I know we want to name names, but like it's really hard to when you are a nonprofit who has been given $100 a month for ads, that's all you can spend on ads, and you're facing a national corporation as competition that has more money to spend in ads than you have for a yearly operating budget. That's very disheartening to them. And for us working with them, it is honestly, truly, that I know I keep going back to this, it's pulling out their core values, right? So what is it that separates them from this big conglomerate? It is the personal touch. It is the fact that we are in this region with them. It is the fact that we are born, a lot of our partners are born and raised in the state. And so they have that, not only that generalized knowledge, but they have that passion for it, right? Like they've maybe seen their great aunt or uncle go without food, or they maybe have seen a loved one have no access to a fitness routine. And so they pass away at an age that they shouldn't have, right? It's way too young because health was not prioritized to them because they didn't know that it could be prioritized for them. And I think that honestly, a lot of times in our partner strategy meetings, we have to kind of set a mood. And I love doing that. And it's setting this mood of A, we're all on the same team, and B, we're here to help people, not necessarily like win, right? Like winning for us means that more people in the state are helped and impacted, not that we've hit this KPI where we have more viewers than blah, blah, blah national company. That's not important. What's important is that we have people who write to us to say, you saved our father's life, or you have people that when we go and drop off meals, they're like, I haven't seen anyone in 3 days. Thank you for coming by. It's things like that really help us stay focused on the fact that we're never going to be a giant, like our partners are never going to be giant conglomerates because they're nonprofit, right? They are not for profit. They are not bringing in millions of dollars. They are grants. They are funding from government. And I think in that realm, you have to refocus it to where they see that the goals are being not only met, but exceeded by, we may have gained 3 clients this month and the competition may have gained 30, but those 3 would not have survived the year without us. That's the point, like the reframe. And I think that it allows us to continue the mission happily and excitedly. And it's really easy to get disheartened also when you see that people that are in need. And so you have to reframe that as well. It is in need and versus we're fulfilling needs. And that's important, right? Yeah. Like we can't focus on what necessarily how many are in need. We have to focus on how many we can fulfill.
Mhm. Wow, I love that. On that note, for mission driven organizations that are new to marketing, what's one key piece of advice you give them to create impactful campaigns that stay aligned with their values?
I would say that first of all, it is vital to make sure that you have your values locked in place, right? It's not something that you think about. It's not something that's talked about. It's something that is written down in your team. It lives in perpetuity forever. It is there. And then with that, I think that you have to kind of bring yourself and remind yourself of those because it is very easy to get bogged down in well, I can't compete with blank organization, and you have to remove them. Like you're not competing with them. You are focusing on who you can help. You're focused on how that mission impacts everyone around you and how that one person that you have helped feed today, their child who is 3 hours away can now sleep peacefully tonight because they talked to their parent and their parent has eaten. They even got a nice conversation with someone and they are going to bed happy and full. And so it's not only helping that person, you're helping that person's child. And then that adult child, they go to bed happy. And so their child goes, it's just a domino effect.
Yeah.
Helping that one person that signed up for your services today, you are helping their entire family, their entire circle. And then you also have to think that sometimes there are people that sign up that don't have circles, that we are their circle. And so you don't want to take the sadness of, oh, I wish we were big in our organization to the people you were helping, because then it just kind of disheartens the services you're providing. And it kind of makes the mood not as upbeat as it should be. So I think that's also the thing is that you've got to focus on I am helping, I am impacting, and not I wish I was as big as blank.
Yeah. Wow. That's a really good way to look at it. And I love your view on that ripple effect. That's awesome. Last question here. Looking ahead, what are some goals or initiatives that you're excited about for iProv? And how do you hope to continue making a difference in the communities that you serve?
We are really looking forward at expanding what our mission means, right? So one of our most recent partners that we have taken on is a dance studio, which is very like out of the norm for us, but they have this amazing philosophy, I would say, to where it is for dance, but they're not here to make sure that they're putting kiddos that grow up to be on the stage as an adult. They are offering classes for adults. They're offering classes for community. They're offering classes for people who didn't know they wanted to take dance, people they didn't know they needed dance,
Yeah.
people don't realize like what benefits physically, mentally, personally, socially, you can have from that. And by saying all that, I think that we're moving forward with an expansion of our views. And like I said, we're staying true to that help people who help people. And this is just another avenue of look how they're helping people, look how they're impacting the state in this area, but they've maybe never been considered a helpful, quote, helpful organization. And so it both reframes us, it reframes them, it continues their mission, but expands it a little bit more, right? And we also just want to keep venturing out. We would like to keep going regional, keep expanding. We would love to take clients out of state so that we can just expand our reach and also the partnerships of look at what we've done for our areas on aging. Let us help state with that would be a great that's ultimately the goal is we truly have, I think, transformed the area agencies on aging, and we would love to help the states around us as well.
Mhm. Wow. I love that. You can really hear the passion that you guys have, and it's still fulfilling this huge need because there is. I was a VP of a small charity for a while, and I would come from the marketing aids aspect, and I'm like, guys, we have to do something, but there's this definitely a huge gap in knowledge. So you guys continuing to help in that arena is just amazing. This has been fantastic, Jake. Where can people find out more about you? Where can people find out more about your agency?
Absolutely. So our website is iProv, IPROV online, one word.com, iprovonline.com. You can also just Google iProv, IPROV, and you will find us. iProv Online is also our handle on social media. So iProv Online. And if you want to look up like my Instagram and things are James Jacob 89. Welcome to follow me. I don't give a lot. I'm a big Swifty, so you'll probably get a lot of that content. But yeah, I do passionately love helping people. So you'll see that a lot come through as well.
For sure. Well, thank you again, Jake, for being on. This is great.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me and for
Sure.
letting me talk about iProv.
Yeah.